how are you? Welcome to my channel, Dear English with Teacher Mervin. Today, we'll be discussing about the purpose, key structural, and language features of various types of informational or factual text. In this lesson, you are expected to identify the purpose, key structures, and language features of various types of informational or factual text. Informational or factual text inform readers on true or fact-based information. These include a wide range of non-fiction, historical, scientific, and technical text, including autobiographies and biographies, books about history, social studies, sciences and the arts, directions, forms and information displayed in graphs, charts or maps, and digital resources on a range of topics. These are also materials that provide significant information or details about a particular person, place, thing, event, issue, and the like. Providing factual description is one of the ways in writing informational or factual texts. They vary in terms of types, signal questions, and single words. First type of informational or factual text is description. The purposes to simply describe something or someone. Also to present plenty of details of what the writer is describing, and of course to explain its features and characteristics by giving examples. And the key structures, we have to consider these questions. What specific topic, person, idea, or thing is being described? How is it described? How does it look like? How does it work? And what does it do? And what is important to remember about it? And for the language features, we have, for instance, such as an example to illustrate, and of course the characteristics of someone or something. Here is the graphic organizer that you can use for description. You can have the topic in the middle, and of course, we can have the other details on the side. For example, if you're talking about the pet dog, you can have there 4 legs, 2 eyes, and 1 nose, can run fast and bark loudly, a tail and a mouth, 2 ears, and sharp teeth. And now for the paragraph, we have this one. The dog is a pet animal. A dog has sharp teeth so that it can eat flesh very easily. It has 4 legs, 2 ears, 2 eyes, a tail, a mouth, and a nose. It is a very clever animal. It is very useful in catching thieves. It runs very fast, barks loudly, and attacks at strangers. A dog saves the life of the master from danger. One can find dogs everywhere in the world. Dogs are a very faithful animal. They have a sharp mind and a strong sense of hearing and smelling things. They also have many qualities like swimming in the water and jumping from anywhere. Next, we have sequence. The purposes describes or presents statements, events, or items in order, or enumerates procedures or steps in doing something. And for the key structures, we have to consider these questions. What statements, items, events, or steps are listed? Do they happen in this order, or do they always happen in this order? And for the language features, we have first, second, next, then, before, after, finally, following, not long after, now, and soon. And for the graphic organizers, we can have these timeline and steps and even cycle. And for a specific example, we have this one. And for the example we have here, have you thought about creating a Facebook account? Maybe you haven't decided to join the social network yet, but you're curious. Or maybe you're looking to create a Facebook business page, or perhaps you already use it regularly but want to know how you can further customize your account and better configure your privacy settings. Facebook, now known as Meta, is a network that offers a lot of options to its users. In this guide, we'll show you how to create your Facebook account step by step and set up all your options to get the most out of it. The first thing you'll need to do to create a Facebook account is to install the Facebook application on your cell phone. To do this, go to the corresponding app store the App Store for iPhones and Google Play for Android phones. Find the Facebook application and download it. If you have space problems on your cell phone, you can download Facebook Lite, which is a reduced version of the Facebook application. It takes much less time to install but retains the same basic functions as the normal application. Once you have downloaded and installed the application, open it on the home screen and click Create Facebook Account. Then click Next. Follow the following steps after clicking Next. Enter your first and last name, enter your date of birth, enter your gender, and enter your mobile number for verification. Choosing a password follows after entering all the information needed. Finally, click on Register. If there is a problem with your password, the system will ask you to go back and change it. And that's it. The application will automatically log in. You can tell it to remember your password so that you can log in by touching the application without having to write down your details each time. Next, we have the cause and effect. The purposes, what happened, that is the effect, and why it happened, of course, that is the cause. To explain the results of an action or to explain the effect of the cause, or the cause and effect text structure is generally used in the expository and persuasive writing modes. For the key structures, consider these questions. What happened? Why did it happen? What caused it to happen? And for the language features, we have so, because, since, therefore, if, then, this led to, reason why, as a result, may be due to, effect of, consequently, for this reason. And we can also use this graphic organizer in writing cause and effect informational text. Specifically, this could be an example. And for paragraph, let me read this to you. Have you ever wondered how mountain bikes can ride so smoothly on rough surfaces? The reason for this is that mountain bikes have suspension systems. Suspension systems keep the wheels in continuous contact with the ground. This improves control and insulates the rider from changes in the surface. Suspension system also reduce vibrations and make the ride more comfortable. Just don't get too comfortable and put your feet up because you still need those for pedaling. Next, we have comparison and contrast. The purpose shows or presents how two or more things are alike and or different. For the key structures, here are the signal questions. What items or things are being compared? In what ways are they alike? In what ways are they different? And for the features, we have the signal words, of course, same as, similar, alike, as well as, not only but also, both, instead of, either or, on the other hand, different from, and of course, as opposed to. And next, we have comparison and contrast. For the language features, we have similarly, likewise, in the same way, as well as, compared with, in contrast, on the other hand, as opposed to, however, different from. And for the graphic organizer for comparison and contrast, you can actually use the Venn diagram. And this one's an example of comparing and contrasting the solid and the liquid. And for the specific example for comparison and contrast, let me read this to you. Comparing and Contrasting London and Washington, D.C. by Scott McLean in Writing for Success. Both Washington, D.C. and London are capital cities of English-speaking countries, and yet they offer vastly different experiences to their residents and visitors. Comparing and contrasting the two cities based on their history, their culture, and their residents show how different and similar the two are. Both cities are rich in world and national history, though they developed on very different timelines. London, for example, has a history that dates back over 2,000 years. It was part of the Roman Empire and known by the similar name Londinium. It was not only one of the northernmost points of the Roman Empire, but also the epicenter of the British Empire, where it held significant global influence from the early 16th century on through the early 20th century. Washington, D.C., on the other hand, has only formally existed since the late 18th century. Though Native Americans inhabited the land several thousand years earlier and settlers inhabited the land as early as the 16th century, the city did not become the capital of the United States until the 1790s. From that point onward to today, however, Washington, D.C. has increasingly maintained significant global influence. Even though both cities have different histories, they have both held and continue to hold significant social influence in economic and cultural global spheres. Next, we have the problem and solution. For the purpose, it tells about the problem and the possible solutions to it. The key structures or the signal questions: what is the problem? Why is this a problem? Is anything being done to try to solve the problem? What can be done to solve the problem? And for the features or language features or the signal words, we have question is, dilemma is, the puzzle is, to solve this, one answer is, and one reason for the problem is. You can also use this graphic organizers if you want to write problem and solution informational text or factual text. And here's a specific example of using this graphic organizer: the problems and solutions of poverty. So the problems and solutions are both presented here. And for the paragraph, as an example for problem and solution, let me read this to you. One problem with the modern Olympics is that it has become very big and expensive to operate. The city or country that hosts the games often loses a lot of money. A stadium, pools, and playing fields must be built for the athletic events, and housing is needed for the athletes who come from around the world. And all of these facilities are used for only 2 weeks. In 1984, Los Angeles solved these problems by charging a fee for companies who wanted to be official sponsors of the games. Companies like McDonald's paid a lot of money to be part of the Olympics. Many buildings that were already built in the Los Angeles area were also used. The Coliseum where the 1932 games were held was used again, and many colleges and universities in the area became playing and living areas. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, share, and like. Until next time, bye-bye.